Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to get into what's going on with these deportations. Now, and you've been hearing for months that the Cubans would be deported because Donald Trump said they got their citizenship here on false pretenses. They tried to pretend like it was too dangerous to be in Cuba, but they were always vacationing there. And they tracked them from 1986 all the way up to present day. Some of them were going 3, 4 times over to Cuba to visit their families that are still there. So, they were questioning, well, if it's too dangerous, why are you still going? So that's when Donald Trump decided to take a lot of their citizenship away. Now, when he first spoke about this, he was saying it was going to be for the ones that been here, I think like 2 years or less. Uh-uh. He's going after some of these people that have been here sometimes for like 3, 4 decades. He's getting their butts the hell up on out of here. And if you have a criminal record, so if they catch up to a Cuban and they find out they got a criminal record, that's when they are deported to Africa or Mexico. So Donald Trump don't care where he dumps these people. He just want them the hell up on out of here. And you're going to see one that was a hardcore Trump supporter, and his butt is over in Africa right now. He got deported to Africa, this Cuban. And you know how these Cubans are. They don't like anything melanated. I know he must be losing his mind over there. He must be losing his mind over there because they don't like anything melanated. So anyway, let's get into this one. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Shalom. See if I can share. Right, give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Okay.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They create quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing. And you can see the results for your smell. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Pride Dinner today.
This is me and my dad.
Monica Mosqueda felt it was cruel. Her dad was taken by ICE.
A couple days before Father's Day.
The man who immigrated to the U.S. from Cuba when he was 9 is on a hunger strike while in Africa, hoping to get the attention of the man he once supported.
He was very pro-Trump, super Trump supporter.
Ariel is from Cuba, a country that won't typically accept deportation flights from the US.
And I had no idea where he was. I was in panic. I get a call from him from his phone A couple hours later that he was dropped off in Tabasco, Mexico.
Our policy will seek a much better deal for the Cuban people and for the United States of America.
The U.S. is quietly dumping Cuban immigrants with criminal records into Mexico. I'm Major League, and this is news you need to know. The Miami Herald is reporting that the Trump administration is quietly busing Cubans and other immigrants with criminal records across the border into Mexico. Cuba won't take them back, so the U.S. is making it Mexico's problem. Some of these deportees have been in the U.S. since the 1980s and are being left near the Guatemalan border with no papers, no food, no water, no shelter. Lawyers are warning that dumping these people onto random streets in Mexico makes them instant targets for organized crime and kidnappings. This administration is outsourcing its accountability and creating a humanitarian disaster. But I want to know what you think. Comment down below and click the link in my bio to follow Major League TV on Facebook.
Or a third country like Africa for being in the country illegally and having a criminal record. The case of Cuban man was raising questions about the flawed deportation process. Our Christian Del Rosa of the story.
Fosquera felt it was Congo. Her dad was taken by ICE. Couple days before Father's Day. Fosquera is her father going. Wait for an annual check-in with immigration pages after 2 and was taken into custody. But instead of being deported to his native Cuba, he was sent to Africa. How we go? One. When Madame Capo and left, canons.
We did this 9 years ago. Why is he prison?
The 58-year-old Lesbar base
Sent to a maximum security prison. They gave them Eswatini over the summer. Couple Africa criticized as human rights issues. Below, part of the Trump administration's third country deportation program, critics say it peeds his right to due process. The department highlight as the worst of the worst. Stress if he was a convicted murderer, is the would say. Not true.
It's kind of messed up, Kirby. Right there.
We felt has a lengthy great baby day, and it shows was convicted, not for murder, but for attempted murder back in the 80s. It's a trade to the 10 years. He served his time in jail for every single time. It's been years. The truth back. I think it's arbitrarily detained. Now, his life is on the line. The man who immigrated to the U.S. for Cuba when he was 9 is on a longer strike while in Africa
to get the attention of the man he once supported.
She was very pro-Trump, super Trump.
But Justice is very concerned about her dad in the hunger strike. She heard from him in over a week. His attorney alleged not only is this against the international law, she said the cross on the issue here is that no man in prison on no charge, not to mention he's in Africa, so she's been virtually unable to meet with him one-on-one.
In mind is concerned, but at the question, DHS even tried to bring it back to Cuba first.
Yeah, it's a good question that I pose with contacts at DHS, and at this hour, we are still waiting for farmers.
The leopards continue to eat faces. Watch this video, and I'll be right back.
So this Cuban man from where else but Florida just got deported, and not back to Cuba, but to a country in Africa. And by now, I'm sure you can guess who he supported. Watch.
The man who immigrated to the U.S. from Cuba when he was 9 is on a hunger strike while in Africa, hoping to get the attention of the man he once supported.
He was very pro-Trump, super Trump supporter. How we go from one moment of me hugging my dad and being with him all the time and just being his little girl, and then to he's just on a different country and just in prison for what? He did his time years ago. Why is he in prison?
The 58-year-old is one of at least 5 men sent to a maximum security prison in the Kingdom of Eswatini over the summer, a small country in Africa criticized for alleged human rights abuses.
I don't even know what to say to people like him anymore, because you're a super Trump supporter who thought he was going to get a pass with this rap sheet, and now you're on a hunger strike. Hermano, he sent you to Eswatini. He does not give a shit about you.
Cue the music.
Yeah. Raise your head, God bless America. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote. Raise your hand, come on. For Donald Trump. Dale, sutura, 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 sutura.
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote to be deported. Oh my God, that sucks. You didn't even get deported to your country of origin. They sent you all the way to Africa. Oh, Jesus. When you get on your knees for white supremacy, the leopards will always eat your face, you see? So maybe next time you'll join the Black community in the fight, because ultimately, collectively, we have always been right. There you go. Just made that up. Oh my God, I will vote. Hey, I will vote to be deported.
Her dad was taken by ICE.
A couple days before Father's Day.
Mosquera says her father, Roberto, went for an annual check-in with immigration agents back in June and was taken into custody. But instead of being deported to his native Cuba, he was sent to Africa.
He was very pro-Trump, super Trump supporter.
A 58-year-old is one of at least 5 men sent to a maximum security prison in the Kingdom of Eswatini over the summer, a small country in Africa. The man who immigrated to the U.S. from Cuba when he was 9 is on a hunger strike while in Africa, hoping to get the attention of the man he once supported.
The Trump administration has been quietly sending Cuban immigrants to African countries and busing them across the Mexican border to Mexico. In May 2025, the U.S. deported 8 individuals, including 2 Cuban men named Enrique Arias Hierro and Jose Manuel Rodriguez Quinones, to South Sudan. Cuba refused to take them back. In July 2025, the U.S. deported another Cuban national, Roberto Mosquera del Peral, to the Southern African Kingdom of Eswatini. Just days before Father's Day, Roberto Mosquera was detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in South Florida during his annual check-in. But instead of being deported to his native Cuba, he was sent to Africa. The 58-year-old is among at least 5 men transferred this summer to a maximum security prison in the Southern African Kingdom of Eswatini. Several deportees told the Miami Herald they were driven by U.S. Homeland Security to the southern border and handed off to Mexican authorities, despite having lived in the U.S. for years. If we can quite recall, a lot of Cubans voted for Donald Trump. They were so proud of voting for Donald Trump that they made a hit song about it. Every election, Cubans in Florida unanimously vote Republican. This time, it looks like it has worked against them, as the Trump administration is scooping up almost any Cuban and deporting them to third world countries. Do you feel sorry for the Cubans in Florida who voted for Donald Trump?
I am just feeling defeated. Today was supposed to be a good day. My parents had their first appointment with the Mexican immigration in Villahermosa, Tabasco, Mexico, where he got deported to from the United States. They sent him with no form of identification other than an old passport from Cuba from the 1980s, which the Mexican immigration people are not accepting. He has no other form of identification. They are saying he came illegally into Mexico, which, if the U.S. is deporting him there, he should have had negotiated something with Mexico. I'm assuming like they're accepting him. So why would they say he's illegal and now he has to pay because he came illegally, even though the U.S. sent him here? I don't understand this.
Reina says her father, 42-year-old Raul Castillo Ortiz, had been in the country for nearly 2 decades.
He's the one that
always worked hard, gave us a better life.
Raina says her father's visa had expired, but he had a work permit. She shared documents with me showing that her father had been going to stay of removal immigration hearings for more than a decade and was always approved to stay in the country.
Always showed up for his court hearings. Um, every year that they always asked him to show up, he would bring his application of the stay of removal. They always accepted it.
Raina says he had a hearing in August with ICE in Charleston and left there with an ankle monitor, but wasn't told why because he's never committed a crime. Raina says he was allowed to come back home following a hearing in September, but was detained in late October and days later deported to Mexico.
Like I said, my dad is not a criminal. He did everything right. He paid his government taxes, did everything right. Like I said, it's just unfair what they're doing to him.
Y'all, you see that rap sheet that first dude had? Man, are you crazy? He's lucky they didn't catch up to him sooner with a rap sheet that looked like that and an attempted murder on there. I guess they did throw your ass over there in Africa, getting you as far away as possible from the US. Now, I read the reason why they send them to anything but their origin countries is because they don't want them to, come back. But actually, Mexico would be easy for them to come back. But Africa, not so easy. Not so easy to come back from Africa. Look at all the disadvantages. He don't speak the language there. Everybody in jail gonna be exactly what he don't want to see. Can you imagine his Cuba butt is surrounded by deep chocolate, dark, melanated men? I know that probably mess up his psyche. So anyway, yeah, well, there was a Jamaican guy over the summer. They deported him. Instead of sending him to Jamaica, they sent him to Africa. They sent his butt right over to Africa. So when you have a criminal record, you can end up anywhere. You can go, they could throw you in El Salvador. They can throw you in Mexico, Africa, anywhere. And there's like, and some of them were taken to South Sudan. So you don't know where you're going to end up. Donald Trump don't care where he dumps a criminal. He doesn't care. And this is going to continue to happen all through 2026. Mhm. Well, that's on them. They love kissing massa, his behind. So there you go. Now that's where you are. Mm-mm-mm. No, I think the Jamaican is in the same place this Cuban went to, that Eswatini. I think he's in that place too. He got deported over the summer. I remember when he got deported, and I think there was a Mexican in there too that got sent to Eswatini. So I don't know. They sure won't have an easy time getting back. That's for sure. And they said that nation don't have no money. So if they don't have no money, how they gonna get back home? The government ain't gonna foot the bill for them to get that plane ride back home, then they are pretty much screwed. They're stuck over there. But I think that was the whole goal in the first place, is to put them where they would be stuck and not have an easy time coming back. So, y'all, this is all I have for you today on this one. I guess if you're Cuban and you got a rap sheet, you better learn how to run and hide. That's all I got to say. Because ICE is going to catch you. You know you ain't going back home to Cuba. They ain't going to send you back home to Cuba. They going to send your ass to Africa. And we know how y'all act down there in Miami about the ones that are melanated down there in Florida. Y'all don't even like them. You all really hate being in that super melanated country. Yeah. Like to see you try it over there where you are really outnumbered. So, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. My next live stream is at 3:45, and I will see you then. Shalom, family.